Mr. Bani, I want you to take, take what he said into consideration and tie it into what is happening in the National Assembly now. We know there's a bill in the National Assembly that has gone through second reading, for instance, where the lawmakers are actually proposing to amend the way the head of the commission is appointed. As a matter of fact, the proposal is that a retired judge should actually head that commission. Do you think that will make any difference at all?
There is no in-depth in that amendment. If there is going to be any amendment concerning EFCC, it has to be very fundamental and structural. Issue of having a retired judge, a justice of the Supreme Court. We have a justice of the Supreme, of the High Court or the Court of Appeal now heading the ICPC, and ICPC seems like a toothless bulldog. In fact, EFCC even can be credited with some level of performance than ICPC, being headed by a retired justice.
But the question is, should it be about the head of the commission?
Let me just tell you, that's what I'm saying. Fine, beautiful. We are talking about system. We're talking about structure. We're talking about building a strong institution, and then we're talking about having the right caliber of men that will occupy those institutions. It's very critical. If you don't put a proper structure in place, and then you don't get the right person that will occupy that position, then you have a problem. Now we need to really amend the EFCC Act. Issue of security of tenure is very critical. Issue who appoints and who dismisses is very, very important. And issue of funding. It got tested that Mrs. Waziri was even crying for issue of funding because the foreign people were no longer bringing the money. Americans stopped funding EFCC
because they lost confidence in the
beautiful
EFCC.
British stopped funding. And so, unlike under the Nuhu Ribadu that has so much money to, and then there was efficiency in the system, there was no money again, and she has shortage of staff. So the issue of funding of that particular body is also very critical. So if you must get EFCC right, you must restructure the act itself. An issue of, as you have rightly pointed out, panel of people, Nigerians will apply. Nigerians know those that can fight this corruption. You see, the moment you put the right person there, Deji, Nigerians will know that this country have woken up from sleep in order to fight corruption. Immediately Waziri came, people know that these guys, they're joking with us, they're playing with our intelligence. There is no fight. Why did you remove Nuhu Ribadu in the first place? This was a man that was fighting, even if you say selective justice, but selective justice to me is better than no justice at all.
Yes.
It's better than no justice at all. So the man
says selective justice is very different.
My dear brother, is better than no justice. So the man went after some people, and in fact the fear of Nuhu Ribadu was the beginning of wisdom in governance at that time. You see government officials,
I should say this, that you go back to that Human Rights Watch report.
Yes.
It didn't give I didn't give the EFCC on Nuhu Ribadu any credit at all.
Collective indictment, including I don't agree with that report.
Let's look at it from 2002. No, just hold on.
We are Nigerians. We look
from
at
2002 up to this moment that we're talking about. The EFCC has just been able to secure 4 convictions. Come on. No, that's not a good one. Even on that regard.
My position is not.
Some people would say,
no, they did more than that. Not just
for convictions. It's there on record, and that most of these convictions, in most of these convictions, we never had a case where a high-profile politician actually spent a long time in jail at all.
Yeah, maximum 6.
Deji, you must understand that we're also in this country. I don't believe in outsider, telling us what goes on here.
But we also know.
Under Nuhu Ribadu, I'm just telling you, Deji, there was real fight against corruption. Even though you call it selective, I agree with you that he wasn't perfect. Also, it has to do with who appoints him. Anyway, of course, he couldn't go against Obasanjo, who appointed at that point in time.
We're not trying to do some kind of comparison here, but let me ask you this. If you were the president, how would you strengthen the EFCC? How would you, because whether we like it or not, the presidency might accept this or not, whatever affects the reputation of the EFCC affects the government as a whole. So how would you go about fixing the EFCC to ensure it works, guarantee its independence, as he said, provide funding and all of that?
You see, I will first of all look for a motivator, a committed soul, somebody who is trained, who is an expert, who knows what to do, who knows how to prevent corruption. Because if I've gone through the EFCC Act, it's a very beautiful law, except for certain areas. When you look at the composition of that commission itself, the governor of Central Bank, the Inspector General of Police, the Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, of Foreign Affairs, of Justice, the Comptroller General of Customs, Postmaster General, Director General of banks and other institutions, and so on. They are all there. So that there is no way you will move money. All those who we know, even the SSS, they are part of it. National Intelligence Agency, they are there. So everything they need, they are there. Very powerful commission. But what we learned was that the commission did not even meet much throughout the tenure of Madam. Madam did not call any meeting throughout the period. So they couldn't even contribute any quota to this. One of the reasons why she has to be removed. Now, this commission, there is provision in the law as part of their functions to prevent corruption. And the law also saddled them with the means, where we have to do it. The EFCC is the financial intelligence unit for the whole of Nigeria. In essence, like if you go to your bank now, there's a notice. If you deposit or withdraw this more than 10 million, they should inform them. This is where the information goes. So the EFCC has the statutory power. What they needed to do was to utilize it. The information we had was that during Madam, that financial intelligence unit was comatose throughout. So it then means that there was no intelligence gathering harm. And I believe money cannot get lost. Money does not fly. By the time they begin to plan, they have to move the money from one account to the other. The alarm will blow in the FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit, that a certain amount of money is being moved. They can track it and they can prevent. In fact, they can apply to court to freeze that money immediately. But what we experienced under Madam was that they would see the money moving, they will keep quiet. After they have suddenly removed the money from the kitty, they will then shout, we are going after some people moving money, thereby attracting patronage. The people will now quickly run back and say, sorry, this what is going on, and so on. At the end of the day, plea bargaining will now come in, even if they are arrested. Whereas, if you have prevented the money from being stolen in the first place, there will be no case of plea bargaining and so on. So, I will want the president to look for somebody who is knowledgeable.